Hello and welcome to the UK Direct to Business podcast. This show was born out of our drive to help and support you in running your business that little bit better. My name is Sue Wilcock, founder and managing editor of UK Direct magazines, and today we are joined by Jenny Hanlon, CEO of Adnams Southwold.
Everybody's opinion is valid in an industry where it's all about people and the customer and the experience. I'd rather be more collaborative and inclusive and bring everybody in together. If you're feeling too busy and you haven't got time to step out the office for just a 30-minute run, you're not going to have enough time to get everything else done in the day, because it's that run and that break that enables you to realise, I had 50 things on my list and actually there are only 5 I really need to do. I think it's really important that one of your goals as CEO should be that no one notices when you've gone on holiday. The team should feel absolutely empowered to be able to make the decisions that we would normally make together if I was there.
Yeah.
I've said to many people, it feels like a real alignment of the stars for me to have such a passion for ale and then to find myself guiding a business through some challenging times, doing something that I really love. It's brilliant.
This is a glimpse into Jenny's rise through the ranks of one of Suffolk's most prestigious businesses, juggling life in the boardroom and as a parent, as well as how she sees herself as a custodian of the centuries-old Adnams brand, which spans brewing, distilling, wine, retail and hotels. Today's episode is brought to you in association with Affinia, the accountancy and tax advisory firm helping businesses and individuals make better financial decisions with confidence. This episode is a little different, as I was unable to host due to losing my voice, but my co-host Rob Thacker, CEO of Sona Insurance, did a brilliant job at the helm. So sit back, relax and enjoy the conversation with Jenny.
Well, welcome to the Director Magazine podcast. My name is Rob Thacker. I'm the CEO of Sona Insurance, and I am in charge today because Sue Wilcox has lost her voice, which many of you will be surprised by. It's the first time it's ever happened, and I had an emergency phone call this morning from somebody who sounded a little bit like Minnie Mouse to explain that the voice was gone. So sadly for Jenny, she's just got me to speak to for our podcast, and it's my absolute pleasure to introduce Jenny Hanlon from Adnams, CEO, and we're going to talk about the usual things that Director Magazine talks about. So Jenny, just give us a little bit of an intro to yourself, if that's okay.
Yes, no, sure. Thanks, Rob. I guess I should start right at the beginning. So I won't start from the day I was born, because we don't have all day.
Although you do have a bit of date of birth.
We do.
Things.
Yes, we do.
Had you been born a day later?
Yes, I would probably not be old enough to be sitting here. I should be in school.
Yes. The magic of the leap year.
Indeed. But thankfully I missed that by a day.
Yeah.
But no, maybe I'd start at university, because I think that's where my true passions began, with the love of real ale. And I think that's where many people first get introduced to real ale, probably, in various societies and different guises. And you take your degree and you go and start your forays into the working world. Lots of different roles, qualified with an accounting firm, tried some different industries, banking, insurance, and also brewing and hospitality. I'd worked in London. I then had an opportunity to work back in Suffolk, and then found myself at Adnams as their CFO. And that was really very exciting. And then the opportunity for that turned into being able to apply for the CEO job. And here I am today. So I think I've said to many people, it feels like a real alignment of the stars for me, to have such a passion for ale and then to find myself guiding a business through some challenging times, doing something that I really love. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a real honour, isn't it, to end up doing something that you love.
Yep, absolutely.
And let's just roll back a little bit. So university, straight into accountancy exams, presumably.
Yes, all that fun.
Big firm type of thing. One of the big. Ernst & Young. And then into hospitality, but presumably on the finance side.
Yep, that's right.
So always maintaining that kind of
thread.
Yep. And then finally escape. So how did you... Was it a recruitment agent, headhunter? What was the kind of story?
I guess I'd probably use the phrase positive serendipity.
I love it.
So I was working for a small insurance broker in London, and I was on a contract, and that was nearing an end. And a colleague that I was working with has said, "Oh, you wouldn't believe it. There's a job here as CFO for Adnams over in Suffolk come up." And I was like, "Wow, oh wow." And he knew I was from Suffolk and et cetera, et cetera. And he also knew of my love of beer. It was impossible to work with me without knowing about my love of beer.
And also you're working in insurance broking. So
yeah, so you've got to talk about something a bit more exciting.
Okay.
Really. and I went home and I thought, no, that's ridiculous. I can't do that. No, I can't do that. And I came in the next day and I thought, oh, what have I got to lose? I'm going to give it well. So I asked him, who was it that you found out about it from? And he mentions the name of a lady from the group that was conducting the search.
Right.
And I thought, I know that name. And I looked in my phone and I still had her number in my phone from where she had placed me in a job maybe 15, 20 years earlier.
Wow.
And I thought, oh, that's a sign.
Yeah.
So I called her and she was actually on holiday or something. So there was no answer because it was a work mobile number. So I just emailed in and then didn't really actually think anything of it because it was just before Christmas and, you get caught up in all of that. And then I got an email back saying, oh, hi, let's meet, let's have a chat. And I sat down with her and had a cup of coffee and I said, I'm going to be your wild card hire. And then, took it from there. So
wow,
that's how it happened.
And
I do believe in making your own luck.
Yeah, I think it's all about positioning, isn't it, at the end of the day? And so when was this? When did you get the CFO job?
So that was early 2020. So I actually started at Adnams in the middle of the first lockdown.
Oh, my goodness.
There were about 20 of us working and everybody else was furloughed. So the brewery was still kicking out the beer.
Yeah.
But predominantly into supermarkets because pubs weren't open. And yeah, it's a difficult way to get to know business.
Yeah, and also presumably all the margins are all thrown out and all of that.
Yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah, because of course you've got the network of pubs as well as the production.
Yep.
So it's so the furlough aspect must have been massive.
Yeah.
And but I guess, do you qualify as an essential business in terms of?
Well, yeah, we did.
You couldn't stop brewing, could you?
No,
you couldn't just switch it all off.
No, you couldn't switch it off. No, so in that regard, we were considered essential from a production perspective. So we continued to make our beer, and that was all put into the supermarkets, as well as our gins and our vodkas and all of the other things. So that were, at least we could keep some of us sort of still switched on, if you like.
Absolutely. And that diversification, because I always thought it was great that you spread your wings beyond ale. It's good. So you go to the Adnams shop, you can get your gin and all sorts now. Can't you?
Wines and
and that had all started to happen before your arrival. Is that kind of okay.
So I think the gins had probably been going. I think that's well over 10 years, possibly even 15 now. We've been a wine merchants for a really long time as well.
Yeah.
And that's almost like a kind of hidden secret. Not that we try to hide it.
No.
But
I think
13
you're right.
stores and people are quite surprised by the breadth of wine that we have. And we do some own label wine as well. We don't make that, but we do choose the blends and what we want to sell. So
is that UK wines or is it
total mixture?
So
total
you
mixture. Total
blended
mixture.
in
so we have some Adnams branded white Bacchus and stuff like that. But then we'll also have ones from much further afield, all sorts. So
wow, it's an amazing mix, isn't it? How many people you got now? Because
we've got about 580 members to the team when we're kind of fully open, if you like, or full season. So a couple of the managed properties are large hotels over in Southwold. So they have a large team. We have another 7 managed pubs in that area, and then we've also got 13 stores which have quite a few members working for them, and then we've got all the support in the background and a sales team that helps sell our products into pubs across the country, and then we also export.
I was going to ask you about that. I mean, the big thing, not to make it too specific in terms of timeframes and all that, but the uncertainty around tariffs in the world and all of that, is that a bit of a nightmare, or is that just?
Well, it gives you some more interesting things to learn. But our export sales aren't a huge amount of our business. No. They do present us an opportunity where we can grow a bit more. But I think actually, if a tariff created such an impact that that it was going to make our price not really relevant in that market, we just wouldn't worry and try somewhere else. None of those markets are so big that it would potentially damage us for a really long time or anything. And you often find tariffs just change depending on the whim of why they were put there in the first place. So,
We're not. Yeah. There's not a lot of certainty around any of that stuff.
no, I don't think there's much certainty in any trading environment for any company, though. Really.
Well, I feel for you with hospitality because there is a kind of, the country's sort of struggling a bit with the cost of living crisis, and therefore inevitably hospitality is at the brunt of that. I think.
Maybe.
Would you say that, or am I kind of making a bigger assumption than I should?
Well, I'm probably a bit of a loner when I say that I think hospitality to some extent is quite lucky, because all businesses are struggling with national insurance, living wage, and I totally agree with why those levels are there. That's a good thing, but it does make your P&L more challenging. But hospitality and brewing in particular, we're in the industry of providing fun. We're not an insurance broker.
I know.
We're not a car salesperson. We're not, So we provide all this fun, and it's really important that we make sure we're relevant to our consumers to keep having fun.
Yeah.
Fun, I've said it many times before, fun is not going out of fashion. It's just how we turn up to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's the thing with business generally, isn't it? You can kind of, you can be gloomy if you want to, but actually it doesn't serve any purpose, does it?
No.
It's not, that's not going to get us out of whatever we're in.
And I wouldn't want anyone feeling like they've got to go to the pub because they feel sorry for the state of affairs of hospitality. I mean, we're kind of missing the point of having a good time, aren't we, if it gets to that stage?
Guys, get out there, drink more.
No, it's just go and have some fun, relax, have memories, have those moments and experiences.
Yeah. And so, CEO now. And when did that happen?
So that was the summer of, what year are we now? 25. Summer of 24.
Okay. So not that long in place. But, and how have you found it? Because it was Andy Woods before you, and he'd been in situ for quite a long time, I think.
Yeah, and he'd made a fabulous mark on the business in terms of sustainability, taking its brand to where it was. And a great mentor for myself, and supporting me and giving me the confidence to apply for the role.
Yeah. And is he still around in the back? Do you still speak to him, or is he?
I mean, we catch up. Our circles pass, but he's not involved in the business per se.
He's not carried on as chairman or anything like that, or any of that stuff. Okay. No. Oh, that's good. So you're left with to drive the car.
Well, I think he would. He of all people would recognise that it's difficult if you've got a predecessor kind of
hanging around.
Maybe that would be a bit weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And how would you? I mean, I guess you had a lead into taking on the role.
Yep.
But does that give you the opportunity to hit the ground running, or is the job, is the CEO role how different is it?
It's monumentally different, but it creeps up on you.
Right. Okay.
So I actually think a lead into the role, in hindsight, isn't as helpful as you think it would be.
Okay.
I think you're actually better just going in, just get in there and do it.
Yeah.
And because otherwise you're sort of half doing it.
Yeah.
You're not really, it's not really quite yours.
Yeah.
And yours makes it sound like you feel like it's all something that you own or something. And that's not really what I mean. I mean yours in terms of your own mindset.
Yeah.
You need to realise you will do it differently from anybody else.
Yeah.
And differently isn't necessarily better or worse. It's just different. All organisations go through so many different changes and iterations, and different people are right at different times and will have a different take at different times. And I've really loved it, but I have grown into it, and I find more comfortable in being at the helm. I'm not someone who seeks out the limelight. This is not something I am normally comfortable doing, and I wouldn't seek it out at all.
Okay.
I just want to get on and help the business grow, be the best thing it can be, and access as many consumers as possible. Yeah. And I know that sounds a bit twee, but that's genuinely what I feel.
Yeah, because I do think there's a thing, isn't there, when you meet people in a business like yours, knowing the customer or having a profile, I guess, in your head about what they want, that's kind of key, isn't it?
Absolutely. And connecting with them and knowing that actually the consumer is what dictates what we are and how we show up. And we're really lucky to have the brand strength that we have, but at the same time you have to recognize that you're a custodian of that brand, and everybody owns a little bit of that. And you are literally that. You are a custodian. You have been given this wonderful opportunity, but you're looking after it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it weighs heavy, but it weighs fun at the same time.
Yeah. And do you find that sort of CFO, CEO transition? Do you find yourself, because presumably you got a new CFO, have you?
Yep.
Yeah.
I love not being CFO.
Oh, okay.
Anymore.
I just wonder if you'd sort of walk down the corridor and like, what's going on in finance?
Well, I think one thing about being CEO is you're so busy, you just don't have time.
Yeah.
To actually really delve in too much.
Good.
You can absolutely support, and you can be a great soundboard if that's asked of you.
You know the role, so
you know the
you're
role.
the right person.
You also know when someone's trying to hoodwink you.
Absolutely.
Which is quite handy. But I think actually I was ready to move on from it, and I was worried that I would miss that kind of regularity of the financial kind of way of doing things every month, etc., etc. But actually, I found it really liberating.
Okay, so literally, you get your board report with the finances on.
Yeah, I mean, we work far more closely than that, really, because there are only 2 exec members, so that's myself and our CFO Andy Driscoll, and you have to be a partnership, and so it's not a you do that, I'll do this. But we are more kind of like linked than that. It is a partnership, and that's important.
Well, I think that is, as a business owner, the money is always, as much as you'd love to focus on just developing people and focusing on the brand and all the other good stuff, the value stuff and all of that, you can't do anything without the money.
The money does make the organisation go round. I mean, it is the blood of an organisation. How you enable that to kind of shape the organisation and where it can take you is, I think, where you can then finesse things.
Yeah, I like that analogy, the blood. I mean, I know it sounds a bit dark, but it's kind of, but you're right. Yeah, nothing else on the body works unless there's a flow.
No, but it doesn't lead it.
No, it doesn't. No.
But you have to look after it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
good analogy. Yeah. Excellent.
Now seems a good time to take a break and talk to you about our main sponsor, Affinia. Affinia are an accountancy and tax advisory firm helping businesses and individuals make better financial decisions with confidence. With local offices in Suffolk and Essex, the firm has seen incredible growth over recent months and now has offices throughout the East, London and South East. From everyday accounting to long-term strategic planning, their team is dedicated to understanding your goals and supporting you with proactive advice that truly adds value. In particular, they can help navigate the shift to making tax digital with ease. As HMRC's digital requirements continue to evolve, Affinia ensures you stay compliant, organised and ahead of the curve. From choosing and implementing the right software to ongoing support with filings and processes, their team takes complexity out of the transition. You can learn how Affinia can help you embrace digital tax with confidence at affinia.co.uk.
Well, I should probably ask you some non-businessy questions, more about you.
Yeah.
So actually, I did notice you went to Hitchin Girls' School.
Yeah.
So that's Hertfordshire, isn't it?
That's right. That's where I grew up. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And my dad's from Hitchin.
Right.
I mean, you wouldn't know
the
it.
best town to live in the UK or something.
Yeah. Oh well, he'll be delighted with that news. Yeah. I will pass that on. And then, but then grew up in Suffolk. So post Hitchin.
Yeah, Hitchin, Warwick University. Then I moved to London.
Right.
And it was through a friend of mine at Warwick University I met my husband.
Right. Okay.
He was from Suffolk. So then after a few years of working in London, we decided to relocate to Suffolk. And then oddly, my job roles took me back into London, but I stayed in Suffolk, and I was one of those crazy people who got on the train 4 days a week and all of that. Don't miss that.
No.
And then found a role, back at Adnams in Suffolk again. So
yeah, perfect. Yeah, as you say. Well, positioning maybe that's part of the strategic,
Yeah, and I got to bring up my family here in Suffolk, and I personally prefer that to being in London. I'm quite outdoorsy, and
And that's my question for everyone who runs a business or CEO. How do you balance everything? How do you kind of do you have a routine? Do you have a get up in the morning and meditate? A kind of thing that you do or not?
I mean, I have an hour's drive in the morning, which I think is actually really great. A lot of people at Adnams feels that's quite a commute because a lot of people live far more closer to the brewery and the distribution centre than that. But for me, it gives me a chance to kind of wind out of kind of setting the family up for the day and getting into the office. Love a bit of radio too, and laughing and whatever.
Perfect. Yeah.
Went through a stage of listening to Radio 4 and trying to better my knowledge and be a broader thinker, and then just found it far too depressing and thought I much prefer a bit of Scott Mills Radio 2.
Yeah.
So I would arrive light-footed and, spring into the office laughing and joking. And then if I do try and run at lunchtime, once, twice a week
excellent.
if I can.
Yeah.
It's beautiful in Southwold and Raydon.
Isn't it?
Why would you work there and not get out as often as you can?
So showers in the office and all that? They go all
I use the Dre showers.
What? Which showers?
So the Dre team, the guys who deliver all the beers,
Yeah.
the barrels, I use their showers,
Okay.
which they find hilarious. They're
bet.
like, "You're going to use that?" I was like, "Well, if you don't mind." I'm like, "Okay." I'm not going to have a shower put in at distribution centre just for me to use. That just feels crazy.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And,
that would be too much.
And the shower's great. It's really strong. Nearly knocked me over the first time I got underneath it, but it means I can wash my hair quickly. It's great. I like to run there at lunchtime as often as I can, and quite often I'll go around and do catch-ups with teams, and I'll catch up with the Dre team, and I always do it at the start of their day. So I'll turn up in my running kit because I have to meet them at 5:30 in the morning before they start their day.
What's the Dre team?
So they drive the big trucks with all the barrels on and take them round to the pubs.
Right. Okay. Wow.
So they're a great bunch who, communicate with our customers firsthand and are another part of a really important part of our business. A great group. And, so I'll meet up with them first thing in the morning. They know me as the crazy running person. And
you can also call me CEO, but I am the crazy running person.
No, crazy running person. So, that's quite amusing. But I guess that highlights a bit of how I like to be at work too. I'm not a town hall, stand up in front of lots of people.
Yeah. I'm
a small groups, interact, chat how we are here, really understand and listen and, get to feel what's going on.
Do you think the town hall thing, it's a bit, I almost think of it, when I speak to the whole team, it's kind of like they're almost expecting some kind of performance, or maybe that's what I would be expecting. And that's not really, that doesn't necessarily get the message. The message
I think
across.
It's hard to deliver a message that resonates when you're standing there talking at people.
Yeah.
Particularly in an industry where it's all about people and the customer and the experience.
Yeah.
I'd rather be more collaborative and inclusive and bring everybody in together and everybody's opinion is valid. I think that's one of the hardest things about consumerism in today's guise is that everybody's opinion is so fast moving that actually tapping into everybody's opinions is really important. So talking to everybody in the team is a great way to do that.
Yeah. Do you find, are people, I guess some employees won't necessarily want to be that open about what they think, but you need it, don't you? You need them to be absolutely frank.
But I think it's also about how you want to position yourself and how you see the best way you can do your role. And for me, mine is just better at being an open, normal, chatty kind of person rather than maybe a one step removed, wanting to be very corporate. And in some organisations, that works fantastically.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't think there's a wrong or a right way. I'm just comfortable with the way that I'm doing it at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that is also it's. As part of the season, we'll chat to lots of people, and for their industry, their style of work.
Yep.
Whereas there's no commonality.
No.
But I'm interested the kind of, because I try and keep myself fit. I think that sort of looking after yourself gets neglected very easily.
It's the first thing that gets taken off the list when you run out of time.
Yeah,
and it should be the most protected thing.
Yeah,
because if you're feeling too busy and you haven't got time to step out the office for just a 30-minute run, quick shower, back to your desk, you're not going to have enough time to get everything else done in the day, because it's that run and that break that enables you to realise, I had 50 things on my list and actually there are only 5 I really need to do. I'm just not going to do the other 45.
Yeah.
No one's going to die.
No.
So
now you've been enrolled for a while.
Yeah.
Do you have like a big vision now for Adnams for the future?
I'd like to get us back to a position where we have traded in the past. So margins are hard in our industry. We do operate in a world that is declining in terms of alcohol drinking, etc. And they're all for good reasons. That's why we've got behind an alcohol-free product with Go Ship alcohol-free, and that's doing fantastically. So it means the the operating world is quite difficult, but we're really, really small. And people tend to think Adnams is quite a well-known brand, certainly regionally here in East Anglia.
Yeah.
And but because we're so small, actually, the thought of us being able to grow a little bit isn't that ridiculous.
No, it's not daunting, is it?
Guinness is not going to notice if we just nibble a little bit off the edge. No one will
absolutely.
notice, but we will.
Yeah.
We will really notice. And those in the business that we support and the wider community that we support will notice massively. So really, my only goal is to get us to be, not only in terms of how we talk about our brand being a sustainable company, I would like us to be truly sustainable, profitability-wise, as well as how we turn up and how we impact the planet. And if we can get that longevity and keep it going for another 150 years, then mission accomplished. So I just want to get it stable to that point.
I'm fascinated by this thing that Guinness are now sort of, I love the way Guinness sort of don't advertise but do advertise by having stories in papers about people having Guinness Zero with Guinness and mix the two together.
Yeah.
Which I think, you know,
Clever.
Well, it is clever, isn't it? And that and they were going to run out of Guinness. I think was it this time for before Christmas last year.
That's right. Yeah.
I didn't believe that for a moment, but it sounded like a genius bit of PR.
Well,
Buy your Guinness now before the shops are empty.
Yeah.
You know, those sorts of things.
Our Guinness are very, they're very clever at how they ignite individual opinion.
Yeah.
And then everybody else does their advertising for them, and that's wonderful. When you can get something like that going, it's just brilliant, and that's that's marketing at its best.
Yeah.
Well, that's branding at its best.
Absolutely. And we spoke just before this about stout and how that is coming back.
Yeah.
And you're a stout fan.
I am a stout fan, and I love the darker ales as well. So our broadside and old ale that comes in November on cask for a couple of months over Christmas. I get really excited and nip down to the nearest pub in Southwold and go and grab myself a pint of old ale, and I just stand there quietly enjoying that pint. It's great.
Beautiful.
I go out for a drink with my husband. He'll have a gin and tonic. I'll have a pint of ale, and they always get handed to us the wrong way round. I know I would have accomplished my dream of everybody realising that anyone and everyone can drink stout and stuff when they hand me the pint and him the gin.
Yeah. I think I was saying my daughter works at an Australian brewery, and they're doing a fizzy stout.
Yeah, well, I mean,
why not?
Yeah.
If you can do it, if you can try it, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we should get too hung up on how a stout should be, how an ale should be. If you want to look at fresh ale, it doesn't really matter. I love the way that the industry evolves. Consumer taste palette changes all the time, and who are we to say how it should taste and what you should like? No one would presume to tell you should drive a red Ferrari, not a black one.
Oh, only if I could afford a Ferrari.
Exactly. But it's your choice. The colour of your car is your choice. And so why should we tell people the format of their drink should be done the way we say it? I think we'd be in danger of taking ourselves far too seriously if we did that, and we should just embrace the fact that consumers like trying new stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you think of the whole microbrewery kind of craze? Is it still a craze? I felt like that for a while.
I think it's a great way of getting more people interested in beer.
Yeah.
It's a great kind of industry. I think it's a very friendly industry. You certainly wouldn't find Adnams going, oh, they're only microbrewers. I just think anyone who creates some interest in the brewing industry and ignites a bit of passion, great. And the wonderful thing about a microbrewery is you don't have to have a stonking great big brewery to be able to go and dabble in and try, evolving your own beer taste.
So do you find yourself drinking like micro? Do you kind of
there's one that's like literally a couple of 100 yards from my house in my village.
Really?
Yeah,
excellent.
No, it's a lovely pint.
Yeah. Oh, excellent.
No, I enjoy a pint of that.
Yeah. And are you a member of CAMRA?
I personally am not a member of CAMRA.
Oh, okay.
But I know of CAMRA. I understand their plight. They support the industry fantastically.
Yeah,
and
they do, don't they? Yeah.
I always remember the Great British Beer Guide as well that they would always sponsor and stuff. So
yeah. Oh, hang on, I missed an indicator from Sue, the vocalist.
Family balance.
Oh, family balance. It's a great question, isn't it?
So I don't always take my kids to the pub with me, no. but my youngest loves a J2O.
Oh, well, there you go. So how old are your kids now?
So my eldest daughter is 18.
Okay.
And she hasn't yet bought me a pint in the pub.
That's bad.
No, that's
really
bad, isn't it? No,
yeah.
No, she's busy studying and playing hockey and driving a car, and she probably would rather go down the pub with her mates than her mum. But that's
funny
okay.
that, isn't it?
Yeah, that's okay. I don't want to crowd her space. And then I've got my younger daughter. She's 12.
Okay.
And she likes a J2O down the pub.
Yeah, okay.
And we go out and we have a dog, we walk the dog, and
Yeah.
we kind of cycle and run together, and you know.
So how long is the working day then? So if sometimes you're in for 5:30 to see the guys go out, but that presumably isn't every day.
That's not every day, no. I'm more of a kind of start around 8:30. Finish around 5:30. I don't do a really, really long day. I find myself thinking about stuff a lot.
You can't quite escape, can you?
No, you can't really escape that. But my husband is a fantastic soundboard.
Right.
And actually, when you work in a company like Adnams, and it's something that's so easy to relate to, it's really easy to talk about work, but really you're talking about beer.
Yeah.
So it's not. It doesn't always feel like work. And as I said, I run at the weekends as well, and that's a good way to give myself my own time.
Yeah.
But also I get plenty of time, lots of time with the family, which is good.
So a question for you then. So you run with your husband on a Sunday, so you get to chat to each other. Yeah. Obviously proper cardio pace, so you can still talk. It's very, very healthy. But do you listen to music when you run usually, or not?
Oh, no, I don't. I'm actually someone who likes to run and not listen to anything. I want to hear and smell and see everything around me. I'm a all senses kind of thing. Yeah,
I'm with you. But my kids are all like, oh, got to get my headphones
no, they
in.
like to be plugged in, don't they? On my oldest daughter, she's a real music fan and loves the record. Okay. So we have, a couple of record players in the house, and we're just choosing what different things to put on. And so we all love music.
Yep.
We all have our own tastes.
Yes.
So that's fun about who gets to play what.
Yeah. Well, I was interested in your favourite song, which is from The Cure, The Forest.
Yeah.
And does that make you a goth or an emo?
No,
I'm not sure. I don't understand these things, but that came to mind when I saw.
I'm not really someone who is a follower in a particular style.
Okay.
I just listen to what I like.
Yep.
And I know I like a bit of The Cure, and I love his latest album as well.
Okay. Oh, right. I've not listened to that.
Yeah.
Are you getting sucked into your kids' music tastes at all?
I'm quite happy to listen to it and have my horizons broadened.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So that's good. So, and we've been to Latitude, so the festival over near Southwold quite a few times, and that's quite fun because you all find yourselves standing listening to each other's music, and that's quite amusing.
Also, do you provide the beer for that, or just that?
No. I know that you often find the supply agreements for things like that are kind of all tied up in some big national thing.
Yeah.
There's lots of other concerts that are all done together, so it's harder to get in. So, which is a real shame. And everyone says, "Why aren't you there?"
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you would think that'd be.
It's quite an expensive gig to get into, and so just
fair enough.
have your Adnams before you get there. And actually,
or you'll get it taken off you.
But if you're camping, you can take your own beer in. Take your Adnams with you.
Yeah, that's the answer, isn't it?
Keep
keep pushing the back brand. Yeah.
Okay, absolutely.
Excellent. Yeah. So, have you entered the world of Taylor Swift with your daughters, or?
So neither of my daughters are really Swifties.
Okay.
I do quite like a bit of Taylor Swift, but I get to listen to it on my own because they won't listen to it.
Yeah.
I get told off for being too mainstream.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I think Taylor Swift's going to be ABBA in 20 years.
I do.
I think it's such good quality pop.
Yeah, I know. I like her stuff, and I really love the way that she just sort of just keeps delivering great stuff.
And she's sort of, I mean, I didn't go and see her in the big Eras tour thing. I watched the thing on the concert on Disney Plus, and it's just seamless. She's so good. She's just such a professional. But
she likes it.
Yeah, and she doesn't. There's nothing pretentious about it.
She's just doing it because she likes it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Yeah, so do I.
Like to see that.
I do. I'm an admirer.
Yep.
In the right way, in the business sense. What else was going? So I did notice your watch is a Garmin, so that's an obvious runner's choice. Do you cycle at all?
I do cycle as well. Yeah.
Road bike.
Yeah, I'm a road biker. I'm not very confident on bobbly ground.
No.
But I do like a road bike. There's something kind of nice about the just going round and round and round.
Also, there's something about being a runner and doing all those miles in a shorter amount of time. I find that really.
Yeah, I don't know, because I've started running longer miles. I don't get that so much now.
Okay.
And I like to cycle with a couple of friends as well. We do a few. I mean, I know they're always sort of competitions, but we don't do it. I don't do cycling for time. No. I don't actually even do running for time. I do it just more to do it. I like being outside. Yeah,
it's a proper head clearer, isn't it?
Yep.
As opposed to, because I think people think I run to keep fit, and actually that's not why I run.
No, it's just an additional. Yeah, it's an added bonus, isn't it?
Absolutely. So any events planned for running? And
Do I have any?
Well, presumably you used to do a 10K, didn't you?
Yeah, so the
Southwold.
Adnams do still run the Southwold 10K. That actually gets sold out within 20 minutes.
Yes,
It's
that's
one of
why
the hardest ones to get into.
I've only ever done it once. I couldn't get in again.
Yeah. Well, now
I know you. I think I'll
So my
take your
husband
email.
and daughter did it this year.
Okay.
And that was great fun. I haven't done it in the last couple of years. I had an injury one year, and then I now find I'm presenting the prizes at the end. So I always say, well, I can't really run it.
Yeah, good
everyone's
shout,
saying
actually.
I've got to run it next year with my husband and daughter. So
Well, as long as you can run with that, because you don't want the pressure of the. Come on, Jenny. You're CEO,
no, I
you've got to
don't
go.
think I'd feel that. No, I wouldn't. I'd be more bothered about looking bright red when I'm having to give the prizes because I am a red-faced runner.
Oh, yeah.
Even
So you
though-
join the club, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I've been running for
put the
years. It
energy.
doesn't matter how much I run.
Yeah.
I am a beetroot. And I just feel a bit conscious of that if I've got to then be giving all the gifts out. So
That's right.
I don't know. That's probably literally vanity.
You know,
is
Jenny, the
thing that's holding me
red-faced
back.
CEO.
Exactly.
That's the, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
But I remember when I changed jobs for a role in London, and there was a big gym in Canary Wharf where everybody went to the gym. And when I started in this new job, a guy who I ended up sitting next to, he goes, "Oh my God, I see you in the gym. You've always got a red face." He actually said that.
Oh, nice. Thanks a lot.
And he realised after he'd said it what he said. It's like, "But you look really fit," or something like that. And it just got worse.
Oh, hang on.
And it was
Stop
just really
digging the hole.
embarrassing. It's like, so I am a red-faced runner.
Oh, excellent. Well, we have found out something about you today, haven't we? We did not know. So just a sort of final question. Holiday comes along.
Yep.
I notice you switch off,
Yeah.
everything off,
Yep.
which I think is brilliant discipline. Who takes over when you're not about?
So the team.
Okay.
The team. I think it's really important that one of your goals as CEO should be that no one notices when you've gone on holiday. The team should feel absolutely empowered to be able to make the decisions that we would normally make together if I was there.
Yeah.
For one person to be noticed when you're not there, okay, there might be a bit of a guiding light or a goal of where we're going, but to think that, something can't work okay when you're not there, I think it's really, it really impacts the team that's there, and you're kind of, not letting them build themselves to their full ability. And, recently I was away for a week and we had a cyber scenario, not one that was directed at us, but it was a third party sort of scenario. And nobody bothered me. And it wasn't because they felt that they couldn't, because they all actually do know, if I really need to get hold of you, Jen, they'll just WhatsApp me. Because I won't go into emails, because I think if you get into an email when you're on holiday, you've disappeared into a pit of doom. Whereas quick WhatsApp, if it means that someone's not going to spend hours trying to do something and it's a 5-minute call, then I'll do that.
Yeah. Okay.
But they didn't even WhatsApp me, and they sorted it out absolutely perfectly, brilliantly. And I was so pleased that they felt that they could do it without having to worry me.
Wow.
I just felt that was a real sign. And
absolutely, very impressive.
And that for me is really what I really want to be. I mean, you asked me, what do I see my goal for Adnams? And actually to not notice, when I decide that I've done my bit.
Yeah.
I guess.
Absolutely. And then just quickly then, so the team, because you're a Vistage member, we're both in Vistage world. Do you bring your team into do you use Vistage for other team members?
So there's certain materials and stuff I share with the team, and often I'll come back from something and I'll be thinking about something and how do I build that in, and they'll be thinking, and they know I go to Vistage and
so
stuff.
They know you.
So they're normally expecting some new learning or something. So so I share it in that way.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Right, I think we might have run out of time, which is a shame because we probably could have chatted for another half an hour.
I would think so.
Comfortably.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. No, it's really nice to meet you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the UK Direct to Business podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, then visit our website, ukdirectormagazines.co.uk, where you can listen to more episodes as well as download our library of magazines, Suffolk Director, Norfolk Director and Essex Director. Don't forget to join our UK Director Business Club, where you can enjoy a whole host of benefits, including exclusive content such as unedited podcasts, free tickets to our events, and so much more. See you next time. Goodbye.